The lavish Denmark wedding. Princess Leonor's dress becomes the 2025. The palace bells rang through the crisp morning air of Copenhagen. Crowds gathered, cameras flashed, and all eyes turned to one woman, Princess Leonor of Spain. But this wasn't just any royal appearance. This was the wedding of the year. And her dress. It wasn't just a gown, it became a global obsession, a statement that transformed royal fashion forever. No one expected it. Not the royal watchers. Not the designers. Not even the Danish court. When Princess Leonor stepped out of her carriage, time seemed to stop. Her dress shimmered under the pale northern sun, delicate, modern, yet steeped in history. It was the perfect balance of Spanish craftsmanship and Danish elegance. A symbol of unity, tradition, and quiet rebellion. The whispers began instantly. Who designed it? Why did it look unlike any royal wedding gown before it? The answer lay deep within the planning, a story of artistry, symbolism, and subtle defiance that reflected Leonor's journey to becoming Europe's most talked-about young monarch. Months before the wedding, behind the closed doors of Zarzuela Palace, Queen Letizia was said to have personally reviewed dozens of sketches. Some too bold, others too traditional. Leonor wanted something timeless, yet meaningful. Something that whispered power but radiated grace. After weeks of secrecy, one designer stood out, a collaboration between Spain's House of Pertegas and Denmark's own Cecilie Bonson. The fusion was daring, a cross-cultural masterpiece blending two royal heritages in silk, lace, and symbolism. The gown took 6 months to complete. Every thread told a story. The bodice, embroidered with golden olive branches, Spain's eternal emblem of peace. The train, 7 meters long, trimmed with delicate Danish lace passed down from Queen Margrethe's collection. The veil, whisper-thin, floated like morning mist, embroidered with the initials, L and C, intertwined, a quiet signature of love. When Leonor walked down the aisle of Christianborg Palace, even the grand chandeliers seemed to dim in respect. Prince Christian stood waiting, his expression soft, humbled, and awestruck. For a moment, the world saw not two nations, but two young souls, bound by duty, yet united by something deeper. Love, yes, but also destiny. Reporters called it the most elegant royal dress since Grace Kelly's. Fashion critics declared it a new royal era. But beyond the luxury and lace, there was a story, one of evolution. Leonor's dress wasn't simply a fashion statement, it was her declaration of identity. Spain's first future queen to marry abroad in over a century. A woman choosing unity over division, and modernity over tradition. Inside the palace, guests whispered about the details. Queen Letizia, radiant in icy blue, was seen wiping away tears. King Philippe's proud gaze never left his daughter. On the Danish side, Queen Mary smiled knowingly, aware that her own son's future was unfolding before her eyes. Every detail, the flowers, the orchestra, the candlelight, had been chosen to symbolize the blending of two royal legacies. The reception was pure enchantment. The great hall glowed with hundreds of golden candles. The menu featured both Spanish and Danish delicacies, Iberian ham paired with smoked salmon, and cava flowing beside chilled Danish champagne. When Leonor and Christian shared their first dance, a hush fell over the room. The melody, a blend of two royal anthems, arranged into one sweeping waltz. Every movement, every glance, spoke of youth and responsibility, of passion bound by protocol. But even amid the glittering luxury, something else captured attention, Leonor's simplicity. After the ceremony, she changed into a second gown. Soft ivory satin, minimal yet effortlessly elegant. It was a statement. Beyond the grandeur, she was still herself, the girl who grew up balancing textbooks and tiaras. As night fell over Denmark, the sky lit up in royal blue and gold, the colors of Spain and Denmark intertwined. Thousands of people stood outside the palace, watching fireworks bloom above the city. Inside, Leonor's laughter echoed softly, mingling with the music and the clinking of glasses. It was history unfolding in real time, and the world was watching. By morning, headlines flooded every major outlet. Princess Leonor's wedding dress redefines royal fashion. The future of Europe wears Pertegas and Bonson. Even fashion houses from Paris to Milan rushed to interpret the style, the neckline, the sleeve design, the fabric mix. Within hours, the Leonor effect was born. Bridal boutiques across Europe began offering replicas, and social media crowned her the modern Grace Kelly of Spain. But beyond the beauty and design, the true story was emotional. Leonor's dress wasn't just stunning, it carried a message of womanhood, leadership, and hope. A modern princess stepping into her destiny with quiet strength. She didn't need to be loud or dramatic. Her presence spoke enough. Every thread, every seam, was a reflection of who she had become: regal, compassionate, and unshakably confident. Throughout the event, cameras caught glimpses of intimate moments: King Felipe whispering to Letizia as they watched their daughter dance, Queen Margrethe smiling proudly from her seat, visibly moved by the fusion of two royal families. And then there was the speech, Leonor's own words, delivered with poise and emotion. She thanked both nations, her parents, and Christian, calling him my friend before my husband, my anchor in this new life. Her voice trembled, and the hall erupted in applause. The following morning, the world still buzzed with emotion. Analysts spoke of political implications, historians praised the symbolic unity, and fashion experts couldn't stop dissecting the craftsmanship. But for the people, the millions who tuned in across continents, what mattered was the fairy tale. The authenticity. The love that transcended borders and titles. Weeks later, the dress went on display at the National Museum in Madrid, an exhibition titled, The Future Queen, The Fabric of Legacy. Crowds lined up for hours, some in tears, just to glimpse the gown that had captured their hearts. Its story was no longer just about fashion. It had become a moment in time, a turning point in royal history. As the exhibition closed, one thing became clear: the world had witnessed not only a royal wedding, but the rise of a new kind of monarch, one who understood that beauty and power could coexist with humility. Princess Leonor's wedding dress wasn't just the fashion statement of 2025. It was a message that elegance is strength, and grace is power. The Denmark wedding may fade into history, but that image, Leonor in her luminous gown, stepping forward into destiny, will remain forever. The young queen who walked with poise, love, and legacy woven into every thread. And as the world still whispers about that day, one truth stands tall: the royal future of Europe began with a single, unforgettable dress.